And we are live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Civil Air Patrol's AE Live on September 1st, 2021. Tonight, we are going to be focused in on our post-launch information. And with that, I want to bring in my partner in crime, and that is Jason. Hey, Jason, how are you? Oh, hang on. I still got you muted. Let's try that again. Hey, Jason, how are you?
Hey, doing all right. How you guys
and
doing?
We are live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to
hang on one
Civil Air
second.
Patrol's AE Live.
This is so good that we get to hear it twice. There we go. All right. Let me get rid of that real quick. All right. So what we've got tonight is we are going to be focused in on what your squadrons need to do now that we are in officially post Phase 3. It's like the Marvel universe. Like we've got the Phase 1, Phase 2. Now we got Thanos. We're going to Phase 3. So tonight's video isn't going to be very long. We just wanted to make sure everybody's off on a good start because you also have a good chance to win this thing. We are now very much focused in on the competition aspect of it. We've completed the launches. And with that, Jason, I'm going to go ahead and show. Jason actually put together a video. Now, Civil Air Patrol, we're going to be putting together a video as well, kind of a post-launch video. But we have a lot of our footage was taken in airplanes and drones as part of the Air Force mission for it. And because of that, we have to get that footage cleared first. So we don't have a lot of the footage we want to use, but we want to show. But Jason did a really nice job with the footage he has. So let's go ahead and share that, Jason.
The beat drop.
Oh no, it stopped. Hang on.
Oh no.
Oh no. Hang on. We're going to make this work. There we go. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, that was very cool. And I just want to point out that I had more respect for the balloons than Jason did. Hang on, let me switch this back here. Because I thought that the second balloon was going to reach 100, and Jason's like, 95, 96, 103, baby.
I can't explain it other than whoever made that balloon was having a great day, because technically it was the same model. And I actually switched vendors a while back because these were going higher generally than the other suppliers. And that was shocking. That should not have happened.
Excuses. I'm still waiting for my quarter or whatever we bet. So, all right. So what we have, and let me just turn down this a little bit. I see I'm a little hot on my mic. All right. So like I said, so now we are in Phase 3. And I see I'm cutting off my screen a little bit. So let me go over. This is high production live on the air. There we go. All right. So now we have Phase 3. So now what does Phase 3 mean? It means the results. So September 1st, that's today. You should have already received your share products in the mail. If you have not received your share product in the mail, let us know. September 24th, the final reports are due to us. And October 6th, we'll be having our award ceremony online. Depending on what's going on with COVID, some of us probably are going to try to get to Florida. No promises. We got to see what's going on. But whatever it is, we're going to make it work.
And Colonel Joe, he's been very excited about this. And, I watched a little bit of the live feed. You guys probably watched. I was a little busy, but, he's excited to hopefully hand off the trophy to this winning squadron is the plan, but we'll see. COVID has messed up a lot of stuff.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Although I will say, though, I'm proud of all of our squadrons. I'm proud of the team that was there. I thought you guys just did an incredible job keeping everything going. There was a huge amount of people involved. Hopefully we'll get some video of that we can show during the CAP post video. But there was a lot of people involved in this that, the folks watching this, they really only see you, Jason. They see me. They see Susan a little bit. They haven't really seen the overall team. And there was quite a few people involved in this to make this successful. So yeah, that's great.
It was awesome. They were setting up, antennas, like 25-foot antennas. Everybody had walkie-talkies, and we had Central Command, which they for sure were not letting me take pictures of on that day. But they were all super official in there. They had a contact for ground and airplanes, and it was quite a thing. And I'm just proud to be a part of it and see it in action, because I know probably down in Louisiana, that's the real deal. When stuff really happens, you do that same drill, you get everything out, and you rescue people, and you help the community move forward. So I appreciate just to be part of it for a little day and have a great time with all these projects from the cadets and squadrons. It came from 46 states and Puerto Rico. Everyone who flew on this mission. It was incredible.
That's really good. And if you're one of those 4 states, we're going to be coming out to you to meet with you, to see what happened with you. So next year, we're going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Anyways. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look first at the Science Project and Art Awards. We're going to have some updates on this, and we're actually still working with National. There's going to be maybe even some updates even after this, but we're not going to announce them yet. So we want to do the 2 big ones we want to make sure you understand is that the Innovative Science Project Report, one of the things that Colonel Joe said to us is, listen, the science is the most important. And so you're going to hear about that later too when we talk about the percentages that you're going to get when you submit for the challenge. But we have now increased the award for the one slide report. It was $400. It is now $500. And the post-project documentary was $400. It's also now $500. As well as if you win the overall, if you win the overall points leader, when we all get done, then it's a $5,000 grant. Now, here's one thing I'm going to point out is that if you win the $5,000, I'm going to say it, Jason. We didn't talk about it, so I'm going to kind of do a thing here. Executive decision here. If you win the $5,000 and you did have the best video or the best science, I'm just going to say thank you. We're going to give the second place person. This way, you're not going to get $5,500. You're not going to get $6,000. If you win the cup, you won the cup. And we're gonna give the prize to the next person on the list. This way, we get to share the love a little bit. That sound fair to you, Jason?
I agree. Okay. And just so everybody's clear, we have a rubric for each one of these categories that a team of people that is more than just us. Right. It's a lot of people involved. We'll be putting just like we're watching diving or gymnastics or something. We'll put our own scores on each of these categories for each squadron.
We get 10,
and then we'll take the average over the 10 people who reviewed it and, put it into a whole points category. So we're really getting into the details here on our side to make this, completely, transparent for the process.
I'm going to be the Russian judge. 9.5. Anyways. Yeah. So now let's talk about, for the most part, right? You've already got your patches done. That's over with. You've already done your preliminary video. That's done. But we still have that only accounts for 30% of the total score. So let's talk about the other 70% of the score. So on the post-launch video, we're looking at between 4 to 5 minutes. If you're short 4 minutes, great. Thank you for submitting. It's not going to count for the cup. It's got to be at least 4 minutes. If you're 5 minutes and 10 seconds, thanks for submitting. You're not going to be eligible for the cup. It's got to be between 4 and 5 minutes. So a lot of these things we're going to talk about, these are not negotiable. So don't go, oh, it was 5 minutes and 3 seconds. We appreciate that. Thank you for sending it to us. I might have enjoyed watching it. It's not going to be, not going to be eligible for the cup. It's 4 minutes to 5 minutes. You have to, we're going to have over 100 of these things to watch. So we've got to really hold them down to those times. It is going to count for a total of 30% of your score. This next one is a big one, especially for me. No licensed music allowed. And I really, really mean it. If you have Beyonce, as much as I love it, you've got, any of your favorite, music stars. If somebody in the background is playing, something on their cell phone and it's got music and you didn't understand it, I understand, I appreciate it. I'm going to probably still enjoy your video. It's not going to be counted. Even the pre-launch videos, I put all of them together. I didn't watch all of them because I was working on some other stuff, getting ready for the launch. But I put all the videos together really quick and I put up online and I had them all playing. It was like 3 hours plus of videos. And so I just put it up on the YouTube channels. It was let it run overnight. I was going to let it run all through the day. Anybody wanted to go watch the videos, it would be kind of a secondary channel someone could look at. But the problem is that I actually got 2 copyright strikes overnight. So two of the videos that people submitted had music in it, and YouTube copyright striked it. So super important. Let's see here. All right. So you can't have any licensed music. There is, however, music that you can use, and Jason, in the email he sent out, it has a link to a YouTube video. And to be honest with you, when I started making YouTube videos, it's funny, Jason, I actually looked at that exact same video. That's actually where I got my ideas. I use a company called Epidemic, which has cost me like $9 a month or something like that. Jason, I think you have something, but on YouTube itself, there is, if you go to create a video, you can search for this on Google. You can just say, YouTube free music. And there's actually a link that you'll find right in the very beginning that will actually take you to a site where YouTube will give you tons and tons of free music if you want to put something up there. So the big thing is music helps a lot. Honestly, if you don't have music and if you just have a cadet talking, I have a feeling someone's probably going to beat you. Music adds a lot to a video. So you're going to want to really see how you can use free music that's out there. And again, Jason has a link on the email that went out to a YouTube video, from a really good YouTuber, that talks about that.
And I'll go ahead. I'll put all that in the education materials for the, for that category in our materials. But yeah, music sets the tone of the video. And to be honest with you guys, this right here, producing a video, this short documentary, this is a career. I mean, if you do this well, you could probably go out in your community and get paid to make some little videos for businesses or, whatever it might be. And just dialing in, figuring out how to do the music the right way, just kind of cleaning it up is a career. Even Captain Bob, for a while, he did this as a career for video.
Right. Yeah, I did. For those that don't know, I did wedding videography. So I was a wedding videographer and photographer. I used to run a company called Emotions Studios. It used to be the name of the company. No longer in business. Wah, wah, wah.
Hey, what though? Look at all that you've spun your video career and work into. Like we've said in other, training sessions, you know, being able to communicate through video, scientific and information, and sharing stories that are meaningful and real are great. I mean, TikTok and Reels on Instagram and stuff like it is awesome. Making funny videos is great, but as you guys know, video is super important, and being able to take your phone and do all kinds of things is it's all right there. That's the best. I mean, I dreamed of a camera like that, and to be able to edit and shoot all in one place, it's incredible.
Yeah, my first video camera that I used, quote unquote professionally, was a big old over the shoulder, with a big old light on it.
Wow.
And it couldn't do what this can do. So,
yeah.
it was amazing. It's amazing.
So a few tips, we watch a lot of your videos, and they are good. Okay. You guys did a good job putting it together. So a few tips when you're filming somebody, especially using a phone, most likely, this is also your microphone, being, relatively close to them, so that you can get the audio through your phone is going to be key. So if you watch TV, you watch the news, or you watch a documentary, you'll see that they're kind of framed like us.
Right.
And there's a little bit of a reason for that. It's because you can pick up that audio. And so kind of framing, sometimes we saw some of your videos where the cadets are like way back here,
right.
Hey, I got these projects, and you can't see anything, but you're trying to get the door and everything in. We want to see people, faces, like you want to connect with your subject. Anyways, we could go on and on. Lots of information on YouTube. And again, this is a career level thing. And if you're a part of CAP, they might ask you, hey, could you make some more videos for us to promote, CAP, or you're part of your school. It's such a vital skill, and you can get paid almost right away if you just have, understand a little bit, especially about this music stuff, which for me as well, I had, when I first started doing video, it's like, I don't even know where to look.
Yeah.
How do you put music? And I'd want to put Coldplay,
right,
or something that I knew, and it got shut down.
The video's gone.
You guys are well on the way, to doing this.
So Jason, a couple of things I want to add from a hints perspective, right? And you mentioned one really good one, right? So the framing, right? One, be artistic, right? So if something works well far away, that's cool. But a couple things. Number one, shoot horizontal, right? Because we don't watch TV vertically. So, shoot it horizontally. That's really good. Number two, if you have, my assumption is most of you aren't going to have external audio, right? Like we've got external audio, so my assumption is that a lot of times you're probably not going to have external audio devices and microphones hooked up to computers that can record separately and things like that. So, your microphone on your cell phone will work best if you're closer, right? Also, you don't want to pinch out and zoom in on the camera, right? So, because if you do that, right, it's going to look more shaky. So you make it full screen, full frame, and do what I call a manual zoom, right? If you want to get closer, move in closer. If you want to,
I call it zoom with your feet.
Zoom with your feet, yeah, I like that too. Yeah. Right? If you want to go further out, then go a step further out. Leave your zoom at 1.0. Don't zoom in and zoom out unless you really have to. If you're trying to zoom in on an airplane taking off or something like that. Yeah. Obviously the FAA is probably going to question you if you're running down the runway trying to keep an airplane in frame. So, all right. So those are really important. Couple things about videos that you can use above and beyond your videos that you have taken yourself. You can use any video that's on this AE Live channel, Aerospace Education channel. You can use any of it. I don't care if it's from a class I taught a year ago. I don't care if it's for the high altitude balloon. If it's on this channel, it's free to use. Have at it. For the Stratostars channel, Jason has a link in the email that's either already gone out or is going out, and it has 2 downloads. Jason, you want to explain that?
Yeah. So you guys have seen, we just watched a video here that was on YouTube, the highlight video. So you can go out and you can see that, but it does have the music and I have the license for it. So if you just copy that music, you're going to have a problem.
Right.
But anyways, we're going to provide a link, I think, through the aerospace education materials site that we have everything listed in. And you're going to be able to click on it and go to Vimeo. Well, actually, I think it just pulls up a download link.
Yeah, it just
And you
automatically
just
dumped it.
download it to your computer. And there's a 1080 and a 720. And honestly, the 720 is great HD. I would just say go ahead and use that. It's still going to be like 4 gigs. It's huge. So don't do it on your phone.
Right.
And then if you're doing 1080 and you know what you're doing, you can do that as well. But anyways, I posted it to Vimeo without music. So there's still sound behind all the clips from the wind and the takeoff and stuff like that. So just make it a little easier for you. You probably can just go ahead when you download it, throw it into your editing software, and you probably just chop it up and then just put it in as is. You don't have to take the audio out or anything like that. So,
and then in addition to that, if you want to, again, kind of goes back to my comment about, this aerospace education channel, feel free to use any of the live coverage from that day. If Jason or I said something funny and made you laugh and you really want to highlight that, hey, listen, Jason and me are up for brownie points. It's fine. So let's see, Jason, I want to keep moving forward here just because
Sure.
I'm looking at the time. All right. So we kind of went through this before. So I'm going to kind of skim through it. Project video documentary, again, 5-minute maximum. If it's more than that, thank you, but it's going to be out. Some of the things you're going to want to put in, you're going to want your squadron charter number, your name, city, state where you're located, the project that you did, how the cadets worked as a team, how and where they viewed the launch, your project's results post-launch, what they learned through the entire process. Did you learn anything when you watched and listened to Colonel Joe? Again, remember that we also have a full hour-long plus conversation with Colonel Joe above and beyond what you saw in the live stream, more podcast style. So if you're interested, go watch that. What did they learn from him? And if your squadron wins that $5,000 grant, and mind you, that $5,000 grant, Jason, I know and I know, but the cadets may not know this. That's not $5,000 from Civil Air Patrol. Colonel Joe is putting up $5,000 of his money. Susan, Jason, myself, when we were talking to him about this project, we didn't ask him to put up any money. We didn't do any of that. We thought we were going to have the $500 or maybe a little bit more than that. And Colonel Joe just comes up and says, well, I'd like to put $5,000. Like, whoa, you gotta be kidding me. So anyways, so really, what did you learn from Colonel Joe? We want to hear about that. So, and if you win the money, how would you use it? I think that's important to hear too in your video documentary. And then anything else of interest. And the other thing too, I didn't put on here, if you do a video and it's just a cadet standing in the background and they're just talking about what they did, no offense, probably not going to win. Right. We had a couple of squadrons that did a really nice job where they did some scenes. A couple of them actually, it was like 1 a.m. I was working on something else. I was watching some videos and I started laughing. And my wife's like, what are you laughing about? And I'm like, one of the squadrons just really made me, it was a really funny video. They were talking, and if this was you, then you'll know who you were. They made it sound like, their whole squadron acts as one big family. And in the background, they had 2 cadets fighting. It was like a family would. It was really, really funny.
Yeah, I think what we're looking for here at the end of the day is tell the story of this project and the impact that it had on your squadron, the cadets, like a before and after kind of a thing. You have your pre-flight footage that you sent in. You can use it as is. You could just put it in, and that's what we were hoping for, is that you would record that so you had it. But if I'm out of line here, Captain Bob, let me know. But we're okay if that audio wasn't good. You can go a little bit Hollywood and record it again, or you might ask, a cadet might ask another cadet. So what's your project? As if it's before the launch. And then, later they'll explain the results. So, you have a chance to do that. We're not going to say, you know what, I think that was recorded Hollywood style. We're not going to use it. But either way, you can use that footage, or you can re-record it if you'd like to frame it or get a better audio.
Yeah, and feel free. Again, this kind of goes to the Hollywood thing. A lot of times people don't realize when you watch a movie and you hear the actors talking, that's almost like they're usually overdubbing that, which means that if you actually heard the audio they did when they actually took the video, it would sound horrible. They're usually in a room with a microphone just like this usually, in a soundproof room, and they're doing their lines. So and feel free, you could have your video playing, and you can do what's called a voiceover. So you could talk over you don't have to show your face talking.
And that's a documentary thing,
right?
That's a big thing, is showing some footage of your capsule, the results, what we call B-roll, and then you're talking behind it, and it's telling the story. So you don't have to have a face every time there's talking in your video. So
one quick thing before we jump on, just because of the timing, for the cadets and senior members that are going to be in the videos, since this is going to be viewed nationally, it is really important that you are in uniform. So make sure you're in proper uniform. We did have some videos, and this is fine for the pre. I had no problem with it. But cadets were clearly not, they were wearing t-shirts with, Megadeth, on their t-shirts, and Guns N' Roses. While I love Guns N' Roses and I love Megadeth, it's clearly not CAP uniform. So we may be entertained by it, but it's not gonna do it. So make sure that the folks that are in there are in proper uniform, since you'll be representing CAP at a national level. All right, so Jason, the next thing is going to be your favorite topic, the science project.
Oh man, and during the live feed, I think you heard this from Colonel Joe, and I know, behind the scenes, we've heard it from him. And one of the things he's most excited about is getting young people involved in these research kind of level projects, and giving them an experience at a young age, so that they can continue to develop the aerospace field like he has. And it's something that he wishes he would have had. And so I'm going to talk about this one slide report. So this is the science side, and we do want the video, but at the end of the day, this counts for the most amount of weight for the Kittinger Cup. So if I can share my screen, Captain Bob, I'm just going to show some of that information.
All right, folks, we're going to be doing a live changeover here. So hang on a second. Let's see here. You're going to see how the sauce is made.
All right, I think you guys are seeing my screen.
We are.
All right. So the first thing, obviously, that's kind of important for your analysis is, where is the data? Where can you get and find the data to use for, graphing the information and understanding what kind of environment that your project flew through, right? So obviously the tracking site, which, is now live for everyone. This is what Captain Bob was using. Pretty simple operation for the map. You have this drop down here. So the red one was balloon number 1, and the green one was the one that went really high. And the second tab here, we have the graphs of the data. And then to the right, you can do temperature, humidity, speed, and everything is here. You can also graph it versus altitude. And so basically, I call it a basic level, you can take a look at this information, click a few buttons, and you have everything graphed. If you want to go to the next level and do your own analysis, which, I don't know about Captain Bob, but I love Excel. It's my favorite, or Google Sheets these days. And start playing with the data. Now, I've had a couple people ask me, I can't change anything. And that's true, because this is the source file. In Google Sheets and all of the Google documents that we use, I'm going to give you the source, which basically I have permission to edit. Nobody else does, because if I let you edit it, it edits it for everyone. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to this page, and you File, Make Copy right here, and it will ask you, where do you want to put this in your own drive? So it literally makes a copy of my source, and then you can do whatever you want with it. You can change everything, you can sort it, you can do whatever you need.
One quick thing there, Jason. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Go ahead.
The other thing they can do too, if they're not comfortable working with this, is you can go file and then you can say download. So you can bring it to your local computer.
So here's the other one, file.
There you go.
So this make a copy puts it into Google Sheets again. Download, if you want to do Excel, that'll make it an Excel file and it'll go to your computer and you can open it up with Excel. On the other ones, open format document. I don't know if anybody deals with that, but PDF won't let you mess around with it. So you can download Excel, you can play with it. If you make a copy, it goes to Google Sheets. So just time and altitude, and then I go to insert chart. You're going to be able to see a graph here. So, you know, it's pretty simple. You can do that. There's other tips and tricks and lots of YouTube videos out there. But again, you can see this is that we just created this graph, and that squiggly altitude plot for Google Earth was made with this data. So you guys can play around and use that data for your project to figure out where and how high and everything it went. Also, if you don't already know, and I don't have it up here, but it's in the email, I have a list of each squadron and which balloon they were on. So if you need to know which balloon you were on, we have that available as well. All right, so the one slide report. Okay, so now this is a share tradition. And where this came from was when you go to, you may have heard of science fair, but in the engineering and science community, we have conferences, national conferences, regional conferences. And essentially what we do is that we take our research, and a lot of times we make a poster, and you'll print it out and it looks almost identical to these one slide reports. And then you'll put it up on the wall and you stand next to it. And, there's all these other, engineers, scientists, people, and people will walk by and ask you about it, and you kind of talk about your research and you collaborate. Okay. So the idea behind the one slide report is to make it an easy way to that is common across all of the different squadrons and schools that we've worked with, so that all the information is in the same places. Okay. Now you're going to be like, some people are going to be like, oh, I could do 20, 30 different slides. And I understand that. Some people are going to freak out. They're going to be like, whoa, I don't know how to, even make one slide. The thing about it, just think about this. You might have, in a professional career or engineering, you might have like a 1-year project, and they're going to ask you to make a poster just like this for a whole year on different projects. And the key as humans is that you can, clearly explain your project and the results in a short amount of time, because we're all basically ADD now with our phones and TikTok and stuff like that. And they're gonna scroll off of you and your project. So you need to make it engaging and clear in the space that you have here with the share project. And it is one slide. Okay, so you'll see a link to this guide, which is a written guide. And if you don't like reading, I made a video for you for students or cadets and educators. And it explains everything. This is I numbered it, and here's all the different categories, which I'm going to show you here in a second. It tells you what you can and can't do, and essentially making it, simplifying it so everybody has a similar format. Okay. Let me show you the template. This is the template. And you can all download this information, this template. Okay. The link is also in that document. I believe it's in the email. Again, how you're going to do this, I'm not going to let you edit this one. This is the source code. File, make a copy if you're going to use Google Tools, or download, and you're going to do Microsoft PowerPoint. All right, if you're going to do PowerPoint on your computer. But again, if you're going to use Google, do make a copy, and then you can change these different sections. Okay, so you can click into it and delete it. Now, one of the main things here is that we keep the same structure. Where these boxes are is important that they stay where they are. And then you change things inside of it. All right. So even within the template, I give you an example. This is an example of a one-slide report that I wrote of a real project that I flew, which was these Wisconsin fast plants. And, this entire center area is creative space. You could do infographics. You could write more text. It's up to you what that is. And then over here, I mean, you could even make the text font smaller so you could get some more words in there. This, is kind of a free space as well. You could put the mission patch in there, but that's one example. And the reason is what we would like to do is get to something like this. So we would like to put a presentation together with everyone's slides that participated, so that we can, hopefully if we do this again next year, or other students from around the country or the world can see your project and jump off of it. So if I just click through a few of these, you see that, the words and, the different sections, they're in the same place, but they clearly change the background, the text color. And then you come to something like this, which is a cool project, magnets in space. But they didn't change the background. Like if I'm walking through a conference, I'm probably not going to stop at this, but I might stop at this one because there's like bones, and I see X-ray, dental, titanium screws in space, and I'm like, oh, I would stop. What's going on? Space screws? Tell me about that. Because I see stuff going on.
Yeah, that Lego one looked really good too. That one really popped.
Yep.
The text over it kind of, the text and everything else doesn't look good, but the background's good.
What I probably would have done is on the background of these text boxes, I would have, you can change the color and the opacity, meaning like how much you can see through or not see through, so that you can make that text pop a little bit. Okay. And I'm telling you, I've talked to people at NASA. I've talked to, all these, upper level research science organizations, and this goes for business as well. You could have an awesome idea. You could have an awesome science project, but if you can't communicate it and explain it, what the results were and what you did in a meaningful way that humans like to engage with, you're not going to make the impact that you could have. Just think if Einstein, did all this work in his mind, and he went out and made these experiments and calculations, but he couldn't explain it. He couldn't write it down and communicate it to other people so they could then go off of his work and continue, scientific discovery. We wouldn't have anything, if you just kind of couldn't get the information out. All right. So you're probably wondering if you're, in a squadron, so let's say you launched a Lego, you're like these guys, right? These are all from one capsule even. So they launched some sticky notes. They launched some UV beads, magnets, the dental film. So each experiment has a share one slide report. Okay. So you're not just going to do one slide for all of your projects, all in one place. You're going to do a one slide report for each one. And then your squadron is going to turn in a presentation, which is this, with all your slides included. And then within that, well, maybe your AE officer, or maybe you'll vote on it. We want to know what your number one slide or share project one slide report is, and put that at the top, because again, we're going to have hundreds to possibly, I don't know, it could be over 600 different experiments that flew. Put your number one, you can put number two, it doesn't really matter, but put your top one at the top that you want to submit for that science prize. Because if you put that, number 37 on the slide deck, we might not get down that far. Okay. So the key is each of these cadet teams for each experiment that flew will create a slide. All right. Now, I should have started with this, and maybe you guys already started doing your experiments. But if you get a no, if you don't get results from your project, okay, so you had a hypothesis and you were looking to see if something would happen, and it doesn't happen, that's not a failure in science. That's actually almost better than confirming what you thought, because it's new information. All right. If you see on this, titanium screw example, the hypothesis was that the X-ray would show something on the film. Did they get an X-ray? They did not. Okay. And this section down here is one of the most important sections. How would you improve your experiment? Because what we're hoping, and this is science, because again, most of science, it doesn't work the first time, what they were looking for. And actually, the true discoveries are where we've never been before, and where the data is weird. If you want to go look at penicillin, there was somebody trying to create basically this magic medicine, and over time they got their apartment was so messy that there was bread and mold growing. And when in a pile of science equipment and food, okay, the mad scientists, they saw this mold that had grown off of bread into a disease kind of like bacteria sample, and the mold started killing the bacteria. And they found penicillin, and it changed the world as we know it. It was incredible. It was an accident. It's same thing with this. There is not a failure in science. There's just understanding more information about the projects that you flew. All right. And hopefully you're right. How would you improve it? Hopefully we're going to do this again. If not, someone can stand on your shoulders and continue your work. So, Captain Bob, do you think that makes sense in putting the projects together, making a presentation for the squadron, and then that's what's going to be submitted? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think you did. I think you said this already really strongly. I'm just going to re-highlight it, even though I think you did a fine job of it already. Your squadron needs to. So I'm going to make sure there's no ambivalence about this. Your number one slide, your number one science slide, that is going to be the one that is judged. Your second, third, fourth, fifth, we are going to look at them most likely, just to kind of see what you guys did, for the fun of it. But for the competition, your first slide is the one that you're going with.
Please. Yeah. And AE officers, if you don't want to have to, tell everybody which one won in your squadron, that's okay. Most likely an adult is going to be submitting this. But we want to see your work. Send what you have. If you think it's quality work, send it to us, because we want to see it and we want to put it together in a collection just like this, so that we can continue kind of, building up the knowledge base of these materials and projects. I saw a lot of really cool stuff come through, and I'm excited to read it, and I'm excited to share that with everyone. It'll be really cool. I guess the last thing, and then you guys go ahead and put some questions in. I don't have it up right now. I don't have 10,000 screens like Captain Bob, so he can read them off. But if you have questions, let us know. Again, I'm available on email as well, and I'm going to put a lot of the details here that went out in the email into the education materials site.
So quick update on that. So for some reason, YouTube disabled. So this is probably something on my side, I'm sure. There's probably some setting I didn't click somewhere, but YouTube disabled the chat for this video. That does. Okay. However, when we're done, there's not a ton of people watching right now. So my assumption is most people are going to watch this after the fact. So there's still going to be a comments section below this video. And so what you do is go ahead and put your questions into either an email to us. But honestly, I actually prefer if you put them into the comments section. The reason why is because if you have the question, there's a good chance others have the question. So if you put the question in the comments section, I'll be watching those. I get alerts when I get comments. And so we can put an answer into the comments section, and this way other folks will be able to see the answer as well. So unfortunately no chat tonight, but we have comments.
And, take it serious. This is a CAP national kind of workspace.
Mm-hmm.
And we, as you know, Captain Bob and I like joking around just like the rest of you. But when it comes to, posting stuff, like we have heard from National, actually, seeing a few comments come through. Hopefully it wasn't from anybody from CAP, but kind of joking around, with things or things that are a little bit inappropriate. Please, we're better than that. So just take it serious in a public forum. Okay, you can joke around with us all you want, off camera and things like that. But when it's out there, we got to represent. All right. One last thing, and then we'll wrap it up. Is how do you submit everything? And everyone that flew, they've probably been through the flight submission. I got to change this post flight submission form. But anyways, I updated this. So what you're going to do is the 1-slide final report presentation, and then you're going to do the science project documentary video. And you go ahead and click start form. This is the same information that we had before with information about you and your squadron, whoever's submitting it. Then you have the 1-slide, science report as a presentation, single file with all experiment slides. So what you're going to need to do, all right, if you have made done all this work in Google, you cannot submit a Google link to us. Unfortunately, our system, takes files in instead of links to files, which is really fun and cool, but we need it as a file. So if you do all your work like this in Google, you can just go ahead and do download Microsoft PowerPoint, and it'll go to your computer. Okay. But you might say, I don't have PowerPoint. You know what? That doesn't matter. It goes to your computer as a PowerPoint file, and you don't need to mess with it. You don't need to open it. And then you come over here and you say choose file, and you go ahead and you select that file and upload it. Okay. I tried to put that information in here. It got a little crazy, but please do it that way so that we can work with your files on our side. All right. The last thing is to give us a link to your science project documentary, and that would be on Vimeo or YouTube. And so what that means, a lot of you guys did great with this. I don't think we'll have any problems. A few of you did a few other services, and it is hard for us to deal with, 5-6 different services from all over the internet, or Apple links or whatever. It just gets a little crazy. So what you need to do is both YouTube and Vimeo, you can make a free account. Go ahead, if you don't already have one, you upload your video to YouTube and say public, and most likely, since it's a new channel, a lot of people won't see it, so that's not a problem. But then you provide the link here, and that goes in with your submission, and we have everything on our side, and we can click and open the link easily. And like I said, we have a whole bunch of people looking at this information, and if your link is broken or you only share it with me or Captain Bob, we're not going to be able to share it with everyone to review it. So hopefully pretty simple. And then the last part is that since this is a larger file, it might take 30 seconds or more. It'll say submitting down here. Don't click off of the form, and then you'll get a confirmation that it was sent in, and then it'll send you an email as well saying that we received everything in a few minutes. You got any questions about that, Captain Bob? Is that pretty clear?
Yeah, I think you did a good job.
All right, we'll continue to cover some of that. I'll probably make a video, of course, on that as well. But all right, I've stopped sharing.
Okay, let me get you back on the other screen. Let's see here. There you are. All right, you're back on the right spot.
Right.
All right, we're going to start wrapping up. One thing I wanted to point out real quick is that you're still in it to win it. I don't know where that phrase came from, but I like it. So 70% of the total score is still up for grabs. So 40% of the total score is the science project, one slides that Jason was just telling you about. 30% is the end project videos. So if you add those two up, my math in engineering school was always a little shaky, but 30 plus 40, I believe, is still 70. So so you've still got 70% of the total scores up for grabs. So go for it. You could be the very first squadron to win the Kittinger Cup, which I think is super exciting. So let's see here. We don't need to talk about that. Again, cadet driven, senior sponsored. We've talked about this in the past. We really want to see the projects being driven by the cadets. So if you're a senior member, you want to make that video, make sure you're making it of the cadets. So we don't want a senior member, doing the talk over, or doing the explanation of the project. We really want that coming from the cadets. Let's see, if you want to talk to Jason and I separately and tell us all your explosive knowledge and growth, you can do that separately, but highlight your cadets for this one. I always end with this, just think big. Nothing happens when you go small. So think big. With that, we don't have the chat open for questions, unfortunately. So again, go ahead and put them down in the comments section below, which will open up once this video is published. When we finish being live, the comment section will go live. If you have any questions for us, we've given our contact information before, but Jason has his contact information, and you can just send us an email. And I think we're pretty responsive to our emails. If you don't get an email back within probably a day or two, just ping us again. We're all pretty busy with all the questions that come in. So feel free just to ping us again. Say, hey, I didn't get an answer to this. It's been a couple of days. Let's see. Other than that, I'm going to turn it back to Jason, to you for the final words. But for me, my final words, actually, I always have the end of show final words, but so we'll come back to me after, Jason. I got to do that as a YouTuber, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, but just like I said before, go big. We had some squadrons who really went out for this thing, and I'll be honest with you, I was really tempted of kind of putting in who I think the top 10 people are, right? But I didn't want to dissuade anybody else. But just know that there are definitely some squadrons who really were bringing their A game on the preliminary stuff. If you were one of the squadrons that maybe you didn't think you had enough time and kind of rushed it, and things maybe with COVID were going on, it was hard to get together, you've got a couple of weeks. You can take this thing. There wasn't any squadron. One second, Jason. Let me just finish one thought. Yeah. There was not a single squadron that I thought to myself where the pre-work was so incredible that somebody couldn't take them. Even there was two squadrons I thought were clearly number 1 and number 2, but yet they weren't so unbelievable that somebody couldn't, with enough effort, couldn't take over that spot, especially with 70%. I'm sorry, Jason, go ahead.
And you know what? That's only video. The science side, we just had a really brief explanation of what your projects were. That's 40%. Mm-hmm. And so if you execute on the science and your video is pretty good, like what you can do yourself without going overboard, you can still take it with the science. The good point, we got COVID, it's not like it used to be back, 2019 and earlier. If you do need to kind of do that documentary style where you have to have some clips and explain your projects, and that's okay too. So maybe you have, each of the cadets does a clip at home if you're on lockdown or there's other issues, and then another person puts it all together and makes the total video. I mean, you look at what Captain Bob and I have done. He was planning on coming up to the launch. We're going to have a whole thing, and we had to roll with it for COVID. And actually, all of the months that we've been doing this, a lot of things have wanted to happen, and it gets shut down with COVID, and the show must go on. And so, we rolled with it. Even Colonel Joe and Susan, they were going to get together. We're going to have a whole bunch of people, and that got shut down. But you know what? We roll with it, and that's the world we live in right now. And we're going to continue to do our science. We're going to continue to share, the awesome experience that this has been for the CAP Challenge.
All right. With that, I think that's a good way of finishing that. So we told you we were going to keep this to 30 minutes, and man, did we lie to you. So Jason and I, when we're together, I guess we just are very talkative people. So we are going to wrap it up here, Jason. Jason, anything else before I go to just the picture of me?
Yeah, I'm very excited to see your results and to, see some of these videos and just, all of it's been a lot of emails. I saw the capsules come in, I launched it, I sent them back out. So I want to hear the whole story. I want to see the science, and I want to share that with the world. And hopefully either your squadron, your cadets, or other students and teachers out there can take your research to the next level.
Very cool. All right, with that, Jason, we're going to wave goodbye to you. I've got a little bit more to talk to folks about. I've got one kind of really cool thing that happened over the last week, and I want to let folks, it had nothing to do with high altitude balloon, but it was kind of cool. So again, if you're interested, go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section down below. Jason, I will ping you when we're done, and I'll reach back out to you. All right. Thanks, Jason. You have a great night.
Yep. Bye.
All right. One quick thing. If you've been watching some of the videos before, I've always been asking folks to go ahead and subscribe. Again, it's the whole YouTube thing, right? It's how people are known and get to be seen. But something kind of cool happened. We actually got picked up by YouTube over the last week, and we are officially part of the YouTube partner program now. We are now ranked the #1 search result for aerospace education on YouTube. And honestly, we are just getting started. This is a baby channel that has just got started. We have a lot of really cool things we're working with National on to bring some really great content to you. So go ahead, hit that subscriber button. It does make a difference. I can tell you that because if you all didn't hit that subscriber button, didn't watch the videos, we're well over 100,000 video watches now, usually on a month basis. We wouldn't have been picked up by YouTube. And so what does that matter, right? These videos are not monetized. There's no money here. So if somebody's watching, Captain Bob's making money. No, he's not. None of these videos are monetized. We could monetize, but we're not going to. That's why you don't get ads during these videos. There's no monetization. But, that partner program allows the videos to get seen by more people. So, definitely if you hit the subscribe button, you hit that like button, that helps get our word out. So that's it. That was the cool news, I guess, on a personal level. I thank you all for helping, where you did. With that, we're going to take off, and we'll see you the next time, hopefully in a couple of weeks. Thanks, everybody. Bye.